Hey guys, another car video. Probably gonna be doing this setting a lot more. But it's daytime now, so it's a little different. I was gonna show the surrounding, but that might be a little federal. So today, I don't know, I have a lot of energy. I just ate my breakfast, and it's early in the morning. Today I want to talk about positivity. I think personally, I'm someone that has a very optimistic outlook on life. I always have since I was little. I've always been a very optimistic person. And I think that positivity that you carry throughout life, it has an impact on, of course, not only the way that you perceive the world, but everything that comes at you, you know? And I think we forget how impactful just being positive can be, not only on ourselves, but on other people. I think we're so conditioned and it's very normalized to be negative, you know? Negative about yourself, negative towards others, whether that's being judgmental or hating. I know, especially with like my generation, it's like almost cool to hate. And to be fair, it's not entirely our fault because we are raised or we are growing up in an age where hate and negativity is almost incentivized. Because these social media platforms, when we see hate, when we see an opinion that pisses us off or something that offends us or whatever it is, we are more likely to respond, right? When you see someone say something fucking stupid, you're like, you want to tell them that they're an idiot, you know? Or you see something that's harmful or mean or I don't know, discriminatory, or even if it's just like a stupid opinion, you're more likely to engage with that than you are to engage with something positive, right? And so I think in this day and age, it's very easy to get caught up in the negativity, right? We're in this bubble of just blah, that's bad. And it's difficult to step out of that because it's all that we see, especially with how much time we are online, on the internet, on, different social media platforms. It's all that we see. But I think it's important to remember that it only surrounds your life if you allow it to, If you choose to look at it as all of that negativity or all of that negative space, it exists within a very confined area, right? And if you just choose to let it be there and not let it surround you, not let it consume you, then that's all it'll be. It'll just remain in the little box of media or onlineness. That's not a word, but I'm using it. It'll remain there, and it won't be a part of your life. And I think in allowing yourself or removing yourself from that toxicity that is, a lot more prominent in this day and age, you not only feel liberated from that negativity, but it gives you the ability to be obviously more positive. And I think in positivity breeds happiness. So I think a good place to start, of course, I would recommend limit the amount of internet or social media you consume as much as you possibly can. Obviously, I understand, especially nowadays, it's one of the only means we have to keep in touch with people or to know, what's going on in their lives, and, keep in touch with friends and family and just stay up to date on what's going on in life. But I do think that it can become consuming, and it can become a little like too much of our day, of our lives. I know personally, like, there was a time where I was averaging upwards of like 12 hours of screen time on my phone. And like, you don't even realize, I was like, what the fuck am I doing on my phone for 12, 13, 14 hours? And I look at it and it's like this and this and the, you know, the typical YouTube, Instagram, whatever it is. And so now I'm at a place where I'm kind of averaging like 7, which I feel like is a pretty solid improvement. And on days like where I'm working or in school, it's like 3. And one, I think a big thing that you noticed is like how fake all of it is. All of these idiotic opinions and ways of thinking, all of this toxicity, it is a very vocal minority of the population. Once you step outside of Twitter or Instagram or YouTube and you live, you realize most people are just normal. They don't think the way that these crazy people on these platforms are thinking, the crazy things that they're saying. And so it's like there's immediately a shift in just the way that you think, the way that you perceive things, because you're not constantly consuming it, right? And again, it's because these platforms, they are incentivizing people to talk about these things, and they have these crazy opinions, and they're making it seem, because there's an incentive, as if everybody thinks this way because that's all that you see. But in reality, it's not the case. So yeah, I think that's a big point to start with. Limit how much of the media, the internet, all of that stuff, limit how much of it you are consuming, because all of that toxicity, even if you don't agree with it, even if you don't align with it, participating in it, like entertaining media, you are still consuming it, right? You are intaking all of that energy, and it sits within you. Even if you aren't actively engaging with every single stupid opinion or watching every video or commenting on everything, just reading it or watching it or intaking it, it still sits within you. And I don't think we realize that. And so I think removing yourself from that and limiting how much of that you intake really does have a big impact. I think the next thing is being more positive, not only to yourself, but to other people. You know, this is something I've talked about before. I don't know if on this channel yet, but I question everyone to think of a time when someone complimented them, right? Just any time, because it's happened at least once in your life. I refuse to believe that no one has ever complimented you in your life. You're lying. Okay, but like, if you actually haven't been complimented, I'm so sorry. And I hope you know that you are beautiful and you are lovely. I'm sure you're a great person. And if you were here, I would give you a hug. But I'm sure that most people have been complimented in their life. Anyways, point being, how did that make you feel, right? That shit probably made your day. And it was probably something small. Oh, I like your hair. I like your outfit. You got nice teeth. You smell good. Ooh, I love when somebody... There's one person that said I smell like summer. Oh! That might be like top 3 compliments I've ever got in my life. I don't even know what that means, but it sounds majestic. Anyways, we hold so much power, and we don't realize it because we're only using it in such arbitrary and negative ways. But if everybody was just, if we used the power that we hold with our words and our actions toward positivity, I genuinely think like you could change so many people's lives. And I'm not saying that like complimenting someone's hair is like they're just gonna wake up and become Bill Gates or fucking LeBron James. You know what I mean? But I know we can all think of a moment where someone said something about us and it ruined our day or it made our day, you know? Even the insecurities that we have about ourselves, 9 times out of 10, they came from someone making some little comment when you were like 5 or 10, and that just stuck with you for the rest of your life. You know, personally, I'm someone that's old. I've been skinny, very skinny guy. I've been skinny my whole life. And at a time, it was a very powerful insecurity of mine. You know, I hated that about myself, and I wanted to change it so much. And that didn't come from within, you know, that didn't come from me thinking that about myself prior, or as a kid. Like, I had no problem. You know, when you're little, you don't think about that shit. But all it took was one person in probably, I don't know, 6th grade or something to be like, damn, Trent, like, you're kind of bony. You know, like, something, and like, that was all it took. You know, or even like, as a dark-skinned man, definitely throughout middle school, I struggled with my complexion. And I was insecure about how dark I was, especially being around a lot of people that weren't people of color as well. And so all it took was, we've all heard the teacher turns the light off and they're like, oh my God, where'd he go? And like, now I can look back and laugh about it, right? Because I've become a lot more secure with myself and I love who I am. But we see how powerful our words are when they're used toward negativity, toward bringing someone down. I mean, had I not learned to love myself and love my skin, love my culture, love everything about myself, that one simple comment and of, you know, many after could have shaped the rest of my life. I might have been insecure about my skin color, about being black for the rest of my life. And that could have shaped the person that I am, the opportunities that I have, the partners that I choose, the friends that I make. Just off of the simple fact that when I was 12 years old, some nigga made fun of my skin tone, you know? And so we see the power that words have in negativity, but imagine how much power, the impact you could have on someone if we pushed ourselves toward being positive. If you just complimented someone, right? Because in the same way that someone insulting, or not even necessarily insulting, but making a joke toward my skin color or my body, imagine had someone been like, oh my God, Trenton, your skin is so beautiful. You know, like, you have such a beautiful complexion. And that might have entirely changed the I can't think of the word, but the path of my life. Now, from then on, I might have loved my skin. I might have, and of course I do now, but I'm saying I wouldn't have gone through the difficult junior high, middle school years of like struggling with my complexion. Instead, I would have loved it. I would have adored it. I would have been proud of it, you know? And I think we all have maybe little insecurities or big ones, right? That we all have that we don't really share. Maybe you're insecure about your hair or your skin or your body or whatever it is. And if some random person were to just come up to you and say, hey, I really love that thing about you, how would that make you feel? You know, how would it make you feel to know that like this thing that you've looked at about yourself in a certain way for your entire life, someone else comes along and has a completely different perspective of it, and they find it beautiful, they find it wonderful. I keep saying this, but we have so much power in just the things that we say, the energy that we put out toward others. And if we just used it in the right way, I genuinely think you could have such a wonderful impact on someone's day, on someone's life, and in the future that they have. So I push everyone to lend more toward positivity, you know? I push you to look for something to admire about other people and not to judge or to criticize. And I think if you are someone that does kind of lend toward judgment first, because some people it's just natural. I certainly have friends that are just like, and they don't mean it in a malicious sense, but you know, that's just their sense of humor or whatever. But I push people, if you are someone that is naturally more judgmental, to lean toward curiosity rather than judgment. You know, so if you see something perhaps a little interesting about someone, instead of judging them for it, instead of looking at them and thinking of a joke or a critique, ask out of curiosity, hey, if they're wearing a crazy outfit, hey, why'd you wear that? Like, what made you pick that? instead of being like, what the fuck do you have on? You know what I mean? Do you see the difference? And you can still be curious, but now you don't have you're not outputting negative energy toward that person, and they're not intaking a potential insecurity or something that they could in the future be self-conscious about. And yeah, so I forgot what I was saying. Oh, pushing everyone just to be more positive, to like I said, look for something to admire in everything that you see, instead of looking for the negative, for the critiques, for the judgments. Look at people, look at things, look at art, look at songs, whatever it is. Look for something to admire. Look for something to appreciate about that thing that you're seeing. And I push you to say it. If you see someone whose hair you like, or they have nice clothes, or even people that you know, like, I think we all have maybe not all, but I'm sure many people can relate to having a friend or someone that's made a very specific compliment toward you. You know, like, I really like the way that you laugh, or I like the way that you do this thing when someone else does this. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm sure we've all thought it, but I push everyone to not only look for things to admire, but to be outspoken about them. And I think you will not only feel really good about it, because you can see on their face when you've really made someone feel good about something, but also just it will have such a positive impact on the people around you. And I think that the more that we lend to positivity in really minimal ways, the better we feel, the better our lives are, the better the lives of others are, and overall the world is just happier. So yeah, not to be all hold hands, sing kumbaya, but like, let's all hold hands and sing kumbaya. All right, guys. Yeah, that's the video for today. Hope everyone's having a great day. It's fall. You can kind of see the trees. They look beautiful. So great. Yeah, let's kill it. Whatever day, time, area you're watching this in, I hope you're having a good day or a good night. If you didn't, that's okay. Tomorrow's a new day. And I hope you can take this video into your next day, and it can bring you some positivity, maybe a different outlook. So yeah, see you guys in the next one. Bye.